Matteo, Senior PM at GitHub, and today I want to share something that resonates deeply with every one of us who cherishes the open source ethos. It's all about the heart of our community, the contributors. Recognizing and valuing their contributions is not just a good practice, it's an essential part of nurturing a thriving open source environment. Which brings me to something super special our amazing OSPO team has been working on, the Contributors Action. The Contributors Action is a tool designed to empower you, the project maintainers and OSPO managers, to gain insightful engagement metrics, recognize your contributors' efforts effectively, and build a stronger, more inclusive community. With this action, you can identify emerging leaders within your communities, thank new and returning contributors in more meaningful ways, monitor trends and contributor engagement, and even recognize when your project might require some additional support. Metrics in open source aren't just data. They narrate the story of your project, its growth, its community, and its goals. The Contributors GitHub Action provides a lens through which you can view the number of contributions, track new versus returning contributors, and much more, all while maintaining respect for privacy. Integrating the Contributors Action into your project is very straightforward. Start with a repository, new or existing, choose a workflow. Customize it based on your project's needs as guided by our README. Set up the GitHub token and you're set. Check out the GitHub repository for this action and open an issue to let us know what you think. If you have any questions or need any additional support, don't hesitate to do that in an issue as well. To the open source maintainers and OSPO managers out there, we see you. We hope this helps you do your great work, and we thank you for everything you do to make the open source ecosystem welcoming and collaborative. Hello, I'm Andrea, Senior PM. Double the Andrea. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first Open Source Friday of this year, 2024. I am so grateful for all of you who are tuning in. Thank you for your support of open source, and thank you for being here and being a part of the GitHub community. I'm Andrea Griffiths, Senior PM at GitHub, and just how I share in that quick little video we watched before, GitHub is committed to helping open source maintainers and OSPO offices work faster, better, easier, make your life just better, funner, right? And the GitHub Contributors Action is just one of those things. So I'll share the link on the chat so everyone can check it out. And if you do go in and try it out, please come back and give us some feedback. It wouldn't matter at all if we don't hear from you. So thank you. Again, this is Open Source Friday. I am kind of nervous. It's been a moment since we had an Open Source Friday. We created this series in order to celebrate the maintainers and the community groups that are doing incredible work for open source and that are really keeping the lights on, all the things that we depend on. Today, I am super excited because we are going to be joined by Matteo Collina, all the way from Italy, folks. It's almost nighttime. Well, it's actually nighttime for Matteo. And I am so grateful that he's spending time with us, even though it's practically the weekend. Matteo Collina is the co-founder and CTO of Platformatic.dev. Platformatic is a platform aimed at simplifying backend development. Now, you might have heard of Matteo and the JavaScript community, but also he is a vital member of the Node.js Technical Steering Committee. He focuses on developer education, on streams, diagnostics, and HTTP. He is well known and renowned, and we are all very grateful for his contributions to open source, including what we're here to talk about today, the creation of Fastify and the Fastify web framework, and of course, also Pinot Lager. They have over 17 billion downloads a year for the modules that Matteo has created, and his impact in this ecosystem is absolutely undeniable. Experienced speaker, graced the stage of numerous prestigious conferences, and also, I know in his spare time, wrote a book. What spare time? Accelerating server-side development with Fastify. So whether you're interested in infrastructure topics, Node.js topics, JavaScript, I think you will take something from this time with Matteo today. And super excited to bring him in. He's going to share some insights and experiences with us. So let's get ready for this super enlightening session with Matteo. Welcome, Matteo.
Hello. Hi, Andrea. Thank you very much for having me in this late Friday. At least for me, I am very happy to be here on Twitch. I put out a tweet that I'm going to I'm going live on Twitch on the GitHub account. I'm so excited about this. So no, it's great. It's great to be here chatting. Everything is it's going pretty well, to be honest. So it's we're shipping stuff, so it's great. I was actually working on security bugs today, but that's okay. Whatever. It's a lot of fun stories in open source development. You are always you can't stop, because otherwise GitHub notification will fill up your inbox forever. So it will take a few weeks to climb. I'm still crunching.
It never stops.
It never
stops. But let's be kind to maintainers, please. Okay, before you open that issue, think about it. It's Friday. Is it really an emergency? Is it?
Look, no, it is. Like, it never stops. It never stops.
Well, thank you, Matteo. It's so nice to have you here. I followed your career for a bit now. Also, shout out to the Node.js background you have. By the way, this is Matteo's actual background. This is not
It's not fake. It's not fake.
Screen.
This is real. This is real. So, that's real.
If you can never doubt Matteo's commitment to the Node.js community.
The green though is a light that I bought for cheap on Amazon. So whatever.
It's beautiful. Beautiful effect. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited to talk to you. We're going to just have a conversation, and then hopefully, if you're up for it, maybe you can share a demo with us. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And just show us a little bit about what you've been up to. Of course, folks know they tune in because they're here to talk about your project. How old is your project? It's about...
So, I'm talking about Fastify today. Okay. I have, I don't know, maybe 500 modules on NPM with... Last year was actually 22 billion downloads in 2023.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. I had like 22 billion downloads on NPM last year, or something like that. So, yeah, it's a lot of modules. So a lot of downloads too. Anyway, that is that. So apart from that, what I'm talking today is Fastify. Fastify was born in 2016. It was born when it has a very nice story, because back in 2016 I realized that there was going to be a massive issue on Node.js web frameworks. Okay, especially because Express was not in a situation to innovate anymore, and the other frameworks has similar governance, leadership, or maintenance issues, or they were just not moving in a direction that I was liking. So I sit down and said, well, I'm going to create a new one. And then, but I know this was being a gargantuan task. Okay, and this was essentially the struggle that all the other framework had, which were related to one person or two people doing the work. So what I realized was, well, in order to build Fastify, in order to build, it was not called Fastify. In order to build a web framework for Node, I need a big team. Okay, and if we wanted to do that, and I want it to be open, I need to to essentially convince people to start building this with me in the open, and be everybody's framework without us um, without having anything, building this with us without any prior history. Essentially, just trust me, we're going to be something great. Okay, and
I love that.
and basically, what happened was that I convinced somebody. Okay, it's Thomas de la Vedova. I met Thomas at a training course for Node that I was delivering in Bologna in 2016. Okay, and I delivered that course, and he was one of the attendee, and he was still a student at the time. And he asked me, "I want to start doing open source, and how can I get into open source?" I said, "Well, do you want to build something with me?" And he said yes. And then we started working on we started working on Fastify in 2016. That was amazing. Okay, it took us a couple of years to get through. I already have bit and pieces, but nothing solid. So it took us a lot of time to get to a 1.0. Okay, so we now is 2024. We started in 2016, so it's 8 years. It took us 2 years to get to a 1.0 release, more or less, to give you a hint of,
Wow.
time. So it takes a couple of years. We have done 40, more than 50 release probably before going to 1.0. So when we got 1.0 was pretty solid. Then we have done every other year, more or less, we've done a release. So we've done 2.0, then we've done 3, and then we are on the 4 for release. We are preparing to release 5. So just so that you are aware, okay, if you are watching, we are preparing a Fastify V5 release. So people that have not updated from 3 to 4 probably is the time to update at least to 4. But this is, people don't update software. You know better than me at GitHub. So what happened? So we started working, and we created this very open community. Okay, and this was the important part, and the important lesson is, can we build a strong community building this, maintaining this without a big, solid corporate backing of it? And can we make it everybody's framework? Okay,
Yeah.
and not burn out anybody in the process. Okay, so right now, by the way, Thomas, that joined me in this career, in this journey, is now an engineering manager at Elastic. So just so that they made a fantastic career out of it. So right now, Fastify has, I think, I'm counting, I think around 20-ish core team members, and a part of which we have like 4 lead maintainers of it, with all the community
Beautiful.
published bits. It has more or less about maybe 6 million downloads per month, something like that itself. And no, it's great. It also has created a enormous plugin ecosystem. Okay, which is like more than 250 plugins that can be installed. So people are using it, developing plugins and so on. And I don't know, 700 people contributed to the framework apparently. So pretty great.
That's
So
amazing. That's
it's
amazing.
like every single time it's a framework very friendly for newcomers. Like every time we do a new release, we do we have like a lot of new contributors, new faces joining up, because we have a lot of very good first issue programs. So we tag issues as good first issue. So generically, it's everybody's framework. So everybody's responsible for maintenance. So if you have found a bug, you fix it. So that's the generic rule that we have in this project. So because of that, and we also help people fixing them and review them timely and so on and so forth. But because of that, we got a massive amount of, we usually get a massive amount of newcomers that fixes stuff and so on. So it's always filled with new faces when we do big releases. So when we do the 0.0 release, it's always full of a lot of new faces, which is fantastic to see and brilliant. I don't know, like the last one was maybe, I don't know, more than 20 people, something like that, new
I
contributors.
love it.
It's
So Matteo, you're still convincing people to join you in this project. It started
yes,
with Tomas,
please.
but you're still convincing folks to join you. Obviously, always looking for contributors. And this is one of those projects that, as you just mentioned, like it's got a really good breadth of first issues. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this and you're a bit intimidated about, well, maybe this will be the first time I contribute to an open source project, maybe one of those first issues is this place to start. So that's fantastic. I love
We
it.
have even have a page on our website that if you go on fastify.dev and you click to contribute, there is a web page that is all the good first issue in all the organization. So you can find quite a lot of them that are something that you can pick up easily and start helping out.
Beautiful. Well, if I am brand new to software development and I just joined the stream, could you tell me in a nutshell what exactly is Fastify?
Oh, yes. So Fastify is a way for building HTTP APIs or an HTTP server for Node.js. It provides you all the things you need. So first of all, it gives you a router, okay, to essentially say if you want to do myserver.com/hello, it does that routing for you. Okay, then it has it provides all sorts of things for that routing. So it has parameters, it has all those sorts of things that you are needed. Then it gives you a logger, which is Pino, which is probably one of my is probably the logger that you should be using if you are doing Node. So it's really good. It's used by probably most big companies that are using Node at scale. So you should be using Pino to run servers for your logging needs. And it uses Pino built in, which is great. Then we can do then it provides a plugin system so that when you are starting your project, you can load components, plugins, and so on and so forth, sub-applications, and compose your app and reuse it as much as you can. On top of that, we have a very solid type-safe developer experience, so you can even have type safety in your incoming data, outgoing, and so on and so forth, which is most expected these days. And what else? Yeah, we have also all sorts of plugins, as I said, from database connectors to all to file system based routing, which is something that a lot of front end devs likes. So if you want to structure it in that way, you can structure your routes in that way. You can. Everything is pretty understandable. We have very good docs. We had a lot of contributions to the docs. The docs are always improving, so very happy for that. We are, if you're watching, we are actually looking for people that are willing to, I don't know, write tutorials and promote tutorials about Fastify, because apparently there is a demand and that demand is not being satisfied on the market. So that's probably going to help. Apart from that, it's pretty great. If you've used Node.js, you're probably familiar with what you're talking about. So, and it more importantly is based on the top and the latest and the greatest of the Node.js and what Node.js can offer. So, and this is pretty important because most of the other framework for Node has been essentially a little bit lagging behind the status quo. So, yep. I can't hear anymore.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that description. Listen, another opportunity for folks, aspiring content creators, or those of you who are looking at the real gigs. This might be the thing. Start creating some content, some how-to tutorials, and it sounds like a good opportunity to fill a gap in the market right now. So fantastic. Thank you, Matteo. Matteo, would you be up for sharing your screen and showing us a bit
Sure,
of like, what
go
exactly
ahead.
goes
Let's
on?
do a very quick demo.
Let's do it. All right. I am sharing your terminal.
Yay! Amazing. Okay, so I am a terminal person, so I don't need anything more than my terminal. Happy days. Okay, so I'm having fun with this. So what let's start with creating a very simple server. Okay, so we can import Fastify from Fastify. Hello. Okay, and then we can, oh, sorry, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, it's complaining. Yeah, that we need to create our server. Okay, and then we can do that. Copilot is great, you see, and now Copilot is hallucinating, unfortunately, so I need to do that. Okay, sorry, Copilot. And this is essentially, yeah, this parameters actually not needed. So this is a very simple Fastify server. You create your server, you get a response, you get the stuff. We can also define, for example, enable the logger, which is pretty nice. Okay, so if we run this, we can do node server, and you see that this is, you got some not so nice logs. Why not so nice logs? Well, these are made for us, for servers to for other system computers to consume. So if we want them nice, we want to format them with something like an utility called Pinot Pretty, and we can install this with npm, which is great. And then we can even do this and pipe it for development in Pinot Pretty. And now it's, oh, sorry, why it's not? Oh yeah, npx Pinot Pretty. And oh, sorry, made a mistake here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay. So now you can see that this is more pretty, more nice. And then we could do a curl at 3000, and we get our response, and we get all the metadata that we need, and so on and so forth. We can even have more shorter logs. This is all configurable, so you can. But then, if you need, when you are on a server, when you are deploying, you can just do that, and then you get nice, understandable logs for other machines to consume very quickly. But for that, it's kind of friendly. We can even have all inside the server itself. It's pretty nice here, but I'm not going too much into that detail. I want to show you something else. So part of the power of Fastify is about the power of plugins. So what we can do is import, for example, Fastify static. And again, Copilot is great, but sometimes it gets overboard. So we go and register Fastify static, and we need to specify the root property, for example, and this dir name does not exist though. So I'm going to get a couple of utility here. Actually, let's try something slightly different. Let's install a new version of a node, because new version node came out today, so which has a nice utility that I need now. So here we go. So now here we can do import meta dir, and then we can create and we need join. So import join from path, and then we create a public folder, and github.txt. So, and here we say hello, Andrea. Okay. And then we can take this out and say node server. And I made a mistake. Nice. And oh, still not there. Interesting. Still not out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sad.
No,
okay.
That's okay.
I'm so sad. I thought this was out. Okay.
On a Friday, Matteo? No.
Yeah, you see. It's, and oh yes, dear name. Yeah, you see. Yeah, it's on a Friday. So sorry about this. Okay, here we go. So now we have just shipped the new import meta dir name. Here we go. Okay. So import meta dir name join. So now the node server. Here we go. So this is now working. Pinot Pretty. And then we can curl. This works still our little word. But then if we go if we poke and we say gh.txt, we get our hello Andrea file that we just set up. So again, if we
Awesome.
want, it's all what I wanted to show you is all of this is just based on this concept of plugins and npm and npm modules. So something very cool is it also has embedded validation. So if you, for example, want to add a post here, and we could say schema. We want to add a schema for the body. Data validation is super important. So if you're not validating your data when you're writing, we are receiving a post. You see a lot of example online of this, by the way. So if there is a post and they're not validating the data before doing a SQL query or something. And this is a massive source of vulnerabilities in real life, in real products. So please always validate your data. So anyway, this is how you validate the data with Fastify. So let's say that we want to validate the name, okay, and we want to say that the name is a required property, okay, and we can do that, and then we can say this is the request, and then hello request.name. Oh, sorry, request.body.name. And that also, if you're using TypeScript, you can use modules that makes this completely type safe if you want it to be. And so now we can do node server, and then we can curl -x post, and we want to specify the content type. So which is application/JSON, because we are sending JSON. And we specify a body for this, which is a name. Okay, and let's put Matteo here. And now the chances of me messing this up without having it ready and typing it by hand is super high, but let's try. Oh yeah, it's not, this is post slash, so slash hello. And now it's working. Okay.
Hey.
Now, the interesting part is that if you misspell this, you can see that you get an error, a validation error. So you can actually tell very quickly that you got a bad request, and this is a validation error. So this is super important, because if you are building stuff, whatever, you have to validate your data. So this is,
I love that. Super useful, and thanks for adding that. That's a big source of vulnerabilities. We have a question in the chat about it being
amazing.
the validation being built in. So you don't need to install a separate packet.
So internally, Fastify uses AJV, which is based on JSON schema, and we can have. I've done a video showing how to set up it with Typebox. So let me get a link, and yeah, and so basically you can get. Here is the link. Okay, so here is the link.
Thank you.
And so that provides and it's based on AJV, which is JSON schema, which is a standard. But if you like Zod, for example, is a very popular validation library, which is not a standard. It's, I don't know, has slightly different characteristics. You can use Zod, absolutely no problem. It's all configurable in Fastify, so it has a lot of options. So you can actually customize it to what you need, but it has essentially, it has all the pieces inside that you need, and then you can swap one out in case you want something different. And for example, if you can configure it all, if you want to ship your logs to Elasticsearch, you could do that, and so on and so forth. If you want a connection to your database, you can very quickly add a module to do and set that up. So even if you want to have automatic Open API integration, which is a spec for building APIs, you could do that too. I will need to share a different window though, so I'm probably not showing this now. Well, maybe we can. So if I'm doing that, okay, I'm going to change my share. Hopefully I'm not messing it up for you too much, Andrea, to manage it. So we have our server. So here, what we can do, we can add two things. we can add a module called import Fastify Swagger. Yay! Okay, this got it right. Amazing. And then Fastify Swagger UI. Here we go. So now we can do Fastify Swagger, okay? And we want Open API there. Yep. And that's it. And then we want Swagger UI, which is an UI for calling our APIs. We need to put an await here, otherwise things will not work. Okay, so that everything is registered correctly before setting up our routes. Okay, and then we can run node server dash Pinot Pretty because we like it that way, Pinot. Okay, and now I'm going to go. I'm going to share my. Here we go. And just a second, you can see it. Here we go, and I'm going to change my share screening. Yay! And then you probably need to put that back up on.
Yes.
Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Look at that, folks. There it is. So Swagger UI.
Yep.
Okay.
It's and then you can use it to test it out. This is still working. And if this is our post, and you can see that it has all the validation, and you can try it out and say, hello, Andrea, and this is executing it, and this works. You get your curl if you want, and so on and so forth. So
amazing. Thank you so much for showing us this. I love the option to add the plugins. Now, when you created this, did you have in mind to, because it's created a massive plugin architecture, right?
Yeah.
Like for developers. I wonder if you have a count of how many plugins actually
yes, we do. There is a ecosystem page which counts 56 core plugins. These are plugins maintained by us. And
Right.
225 community plugins, which is plugins maintained by others.
Amazing. And that modularity, I mean, it's super impactful. I think that's part of the reason, I guess, why you created this.
Yeah.
If you are using, if you're using Fastify, leave us a comment, drop us a comment, let us know your experience with it in the chat. We have a few comments about the architecture. Thanks, Mauricio, for tuning in. And yeah, like a good plugin architecture. Yeah. And the community that's brought this contributions, right? Having that type of architecture, encouraging people to just create this rich ecosystem, which is amazing. Just create all the functionalities you want. I want to ask you now, the maintainership of the plugins, there are core plugins that you maintain, which are the ones that you just mentioned. And then there are community created, but they are all independent, right? Like this is like isolated. So if you have a change in one plugin, it's not going to impact the others. Am I mistaken in that?
Nope, exactly. That's exactly the key part. So you can actually construct your system in a way that a one plugin or one part of your application does not alter the other. Okay, so they keep being separate, and they keep being separate, and you can essentially mount various things and keep them completely isolated. So, for example, you can say this big area of my app is full behind authentication. This other area of my app, it's not. So, and you can set it up and configure it. We have a big lifecycle document and a plugin guide on how to create all of this and how to set it up. But it also works for, this is essentially an easy going, you can get it easily. Okay, so it has a nice ramp up. So you don't need to use all these advanced features. You can just get them when you need them. And so
I love that. I love that for performance as well, right? Because since you can choose what you need, then you can keep your performance high and just keep the footprint small of what you're actually using. That is super awesome. I have to ask, like, you showed us, you just demoed us a couple of really cool things. What's on the roadmap for Fastify? Like, what's coming up? What are you working on?
So we are currently in the plan of thinking Fastify V5, which
Okay.
is very important for us, and it's upcoming. Currently, a lot of the issues and a lot of the demand has been about better TypeScript support, and
Mhm.
improving certain things about TypeScript. So if you are a TypeScript expert and you like Fastify, or if you are a TypeScript expert and you want to help us, we will be or if you want to become a TypeScript expert and you want to help us, we will really love your help in doing this. There are a few challenges on our plugin system. The plugin system is actually what makes it very hard to get the types correct. And currently we use some imprecise mechanism for it called declaration merging, which is very common and very popular, but it's imprecise and we want to be more precise. And to do so, we need your help to make this a reality. We have a nice big issue talking about it. So if you
Let's find that link and share it out to folks.
if you go into Fastify issues, you can see we have it at the top. So, and this is removal of declaration merging in V5. So this is a big topic of discussion. We are still discussing it. This has been long issue. So anyway, if you want that, this is it. If you want to chat, this is it.
There you go, folks. For all of you TypeScript buffs, get on the cause.
Yay.
Get on the cause to contribute. Awesome. I've shared the issue on the chat. And then also we have, don't forget, and before we talk about anything else, I want to call out everyone to go to the Fastify GitHub repo and leave it a star if you haven't yet, please.
Yes.
Let's get you trending. Come on. All you have to do is go to github.com/Fastify and just drop a star. I want to see the stars going up. And if you are interested in contributing, the documentation is amazing. There is obviously the label for good first issues, which you've done such a good job at keeping it accessible and friendly for first-time contributors. I want to learn more. I want to take a more in-depth look at Fastify. Talk to me about this event you have coming up with Platformatic. What's it going to be? What are we talking about? I think we picked a lot of interest.
Yay. So I have been, as I said, there's a lot of people that have asked about where they can learn about Platformatic. When they learn about Fastify, I make them confused. Where they can learn more about Fastify. So what I've done is, first of all, last year, we published a book, which is accelerated. It's this book edited by Pact. So here we go. Accelerated server-side development with Fastify. Oh no, this is the sales. Sorry. And accelerated Fastify. And here we go. This is the page. Okay. Here we go. And yay, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. If you want, you can get, this is us. It's edited by 3 core maintainers, Manuel, Maxim, and myself. So you can check it out. Then that's the book. But they also ask, well, there is talks and webinars and stuff. So as part of our job with Platformatic, okay, it's which Platformatic is built on top of Fastify. It's essentially Fastify on steroids, if you want to call it that way. We provide a lot more features on top of Fastify, and slightly streamlined developer experience on top, which way more opinion built in. So it's even more opinionated. And we have created. We are doing a webinar in a couple of weeks. Actually, not the next week, the week after next. It's about Fastify. So you just you should just see the link, and it's where we are going to go through the journey of all the things. So you can see this is the link, and you can just sign up and you receive a nice email. The event is free. So if you
how much is it? That was my next question.
Free.
Perfect.
It's free.
Yay. Awesome.
It's free. You like free, right? I think on Twitch you like free. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can join up, and we can chat a little bit for a couple of hours about Fastify and what it does for you, and how it makes your development slightly better than alternatives and stuff. So yeah, I think that's all. And this is, what I'm trying to help in improving Fastify and improving the community. So it's that's it.
Perfect. Okay. So there is a ton of resources out there. We got this masterclass coming up with the lead maintainer and creator. So you don't want to miss that. Go ahead and register for that. It's coming up. It's 100% free. There is also a book. Let's really back a bit. If I am brand new contributor, what is my best place to get started? I want to go and I want to contribute. This sounds amazing. I'm 100% in it. Going into the GitHub repo, is there a Discord or a Slack or anywhere else where the
Yes, we
community
do have a
gathers?
Discord. We do have a Discord, of course. So that you can join, and we can just that you can join. There is a link on our website, but this is the invite link for it. So please come over. It's we have 1,887 members, so we can make it. We can grow a little bit. Also, we have 29,700 stars on GitHub, so you can probably make the 30K in soon. So please, anyway. Sorry, I'm trying to boost my stats.
No, this is amazing.
Um,
I want you to
uh,
get to 30K today. Let's do it. I think we
let's
can do
do
it.
it.
Open Source Friday community, we can do it.
So something important, Fastify is not backed by a company. It's part of the OpenJS Foundation. So there is no VC-baked company or at all that is supporting it. Okay, so there is quite a lot of companies and quite a lot of people that are contributing their time, and they are sponsoring the work. So yes, that's true.
Awesome.
But they are volunteers. Everybody's a volunteer. So then there is no there is nobody paying investing big VC money on the framework. So
This is from the community, by the community, for the
from the
community,
community, by the
100%
community.
open source. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you do have an open collective. So because folks, all this hard work, all the eyebrow and like labor of love, but there's also there's bills and there are servers and there are things. So I'm going to share your open collective here as well. If you are a developer who's using it and is able to contribute to the cause,
Please do.
Yay. Please do. If you're a business and you're using this tool, definitely do. Definitely do. So I've shared the open collective here. So we have homework. We're going to go by and contribute if you can. Please, 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 let's start this repo. Let's get it to 30,000. If we can get it to 30,000 before the weekend, I'll do a nice giveaway with all the comments from the chat. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much, Matteo. That's super insightful. Real quick before we go, can you tell me a bit about Platformatic itself? Let's give it a plug in. It's giving you a platform to do this amazing masterclass.
So,
let's do it.
What is Platformatic? Platformatic is built from our experience creating Fastify and using Fastify across many companies. And then what we have shown, we have shown that there was a little bit of a gap in what developers were asking, and essentially Fastify is a great tool for building a developer platform. Okay, and quite a lot of companies and quite a lot of developers would really like to have a developer platform when building their own projects individually or as part of their companies. They don't want to figure it out how to integrate TypeScript in their project. Okay, how you start a project in with TypeScript and so on. For example, this is an example of it. Okay, and they don't want to figure it out how to write tests or pick a test framework, how to set up the database connections, how to map your do CRUD, okay, even. It has a lot, or how to compose multiple APIs in just one single endpoint, okay? or building a client for your API. So Platformatic takes all of this experience and allows you to quickly create an API based by assembling multiple microservices together. And some of it can even be based on top of a component called Platformatic DB, for example, that automatically map a database to REST and GraphQL. And then you can create another service that you can connect to this one, for example, using Platformatic Client. And there is a few nice talk about from some folks at Spendesk about using Platformatic Client. And basically, because of the use of Platformatic Client, as you have open telemetry, everything is already configured. It's pretty nice. You have those two things. And then if you want to expose them, you have a tool called Platformatic Composer, which is essentially compose multiple APIs into one. Anyway, there is a lot of tools. All of them are open source. We have also an enterprise plan if you have a company. So we also provide support, provide enterprise product and support for all the toolkit. And please check it out.
Definitely. Let me share also the website for Platformatic here. Folks, if you haven't yet, go ahead and sign up for that masterclass. Don't miss an opportunity to learn from the creator and lead maintainer of Fastify, and then take a look and see it sounds like all this stuff that Platformatic is doing can save you a ton of work. So that's always a plus.
Pretty much. That's the idea. We want to reduce that 80% of undifferentiated heavy lifting of building a new API to as close to zero as we can. So, and we are dogfooding it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Matteo. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I think we're almost at time. And I didn't even get to the fun questions, but I have to ask at least one. Let's get one fun question for Matteo. Yes. Typically, we ask our music and we ask our food. It's our lunchtime for me, so we're gonna talk about.
It's dinner time for me.
It's dinner time for you. What is your favorite food to eat, like of all time?
I might sound a little bit a cliche. Or what food would an Italian person love?
Is it pasta?
No, it's pizza.
Pizza. I thought pizza wasn't Italian. Listen, I need to educate myself. I need to go read it.
But Italian pizza, not the thing that you do in the US. I'm joking. Okay, there's been a big scandal about this. In one of the top pizzerias in Italy has put pineapple pizza in their menu, and now there is a big outrage in the pizza association in Italy about this. This is
there is a pizza association.
Yeah. There is. This exists. It exists. You can have a stamp of approval on your pizza if you want. You can get certified to be. There are a few actually certified pizzaioli, as we call them in the US too. In fact, so it's not that it's impossible; it's possible. And then you can actually eat a good pizza even in the US. It's hard, but you can do it. I'm joking. It's
I gotta go to the official. There
are some in Europe. It's quite common. You can find nice pizzerias almost in every part of Europe. But if you are in the US, it's a little bit harder. You can do it though.
I love it. We have some strong opinions in the chat about whether or not pineapple
pineapple
on pizza.
Yeah, I know.
Amazing. Thank you, Matteo. I appreciate your time today. Folks, don't forget to go onto Fastify. Let's do it. Let's all do it together right now. Let's go. I want to see that star number climbing up. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow Matteo. Matteo also streams on Twitch. Lots of educational stuff. I think you do such a good mix of like all levels. So you will find something. So give Matteo a follow on Twitch and register for the masterclass. Super excited to have you here today. Please come back.
Thank you very much for having me, Andrea. This has been fantastic. Yay. And there will be a recording, right?
Yes. So this is going to be recorded and it will live on YouTube. And it was also, you're going to be able to see the replays on LinkedIn and Twitch. But the recording will be on our Open Source Friday playlist and YouTube. Which reminds me also, before we go, to mention Open Source Friday. If you are a product maintainer of an open source project, a contributor, someone who wants to get more involved, someone who has something to teach us, you want to share your experience in open source, please do so. I'm going to share a link. All you have to do is open an issue, and then my amazing teammate Kadisha and I will take a look and see if we'll invite you, and you can hang out here with us and demo your product, and hopefully we'll get you some stars and some fun energy, new contributors coming to your project. So please take a look. Matteo, it's been awesome. I'm gonna go have a pizza with pineapple now. I kid. I kid. It's an atrocity. But thank you so much, Matteo. I will see you at the masterclass. I'm going to sign up for it myself right now. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here at Open Source Friday. And we'll catch you next week with another awesome project. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.